Hi there, this is Mark and Dan.
Hey everybody.
We're here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and where are we?
We're in Marymount.
We're in Marymount in this beautiful overlook that's looking at the Little Miami Valley. Is that right? Yeah.
That's right.
I didn't really know about it, so it's pretty amazing out here. And I met Dan when I first started UC in DAP, Design, Architecture, and Planning, in the Urban Planning Department. That was my first major, and we were in class together in 1988.
Was it 88?
It was 88.
Okay.
The fall of 88.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so quite a long time ago.
That's almost 30 years ago?
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost 30 years ago.
Wow.
Let's say 29 years ago.
All right. Yeah, that sounds
It's more accurate.
But we then, just through the years, Dan's moved away from Cincinnati, has come back, opened up an amazing store called Park and Vine that has recently said goodbye.
Yeah.
And Dan's on to the next chapter. And similar to what I'm doing, starting another chapter of life. And we're both reading from The Golden Present. Speaking of chapters, daily inspirational readings by Sri Swami Satchidananda. And the reading for today, April 24th, Welcome the Disturbance. I told Dan that we don't look ahead, and I've been trying to figure out when Dan and I would get to read since I've been here. So we don't look ahead, we just do the reading for today and then, share spontaneously. So, it's a question and answer format, so when I saw that, we decided who would do which, so I'm going to do the question. You often say, don't do anything that would... So this question is going to Swami Satchidananda. So the person says, you often say, don't do anything that would disturb your peace. If someone has an irrational fear, should he or she try to get over it by doing the feared thing, even though this might disturb the person's peace? And then Swami Satchidananda's answer.
I have to put my reading glasses on.
Get your readers on.
Yeah. Where am I?
So right here. So you've got two paragraphs.
Right here.
Yeah.
In this situation, you are consciously trying to get over a phobia. At first, facing it will cause a disturbance, but you should welcome that kind of disturbance. Why? Because the phobia is disturbing you all the time, and this other disturbance is purposely created by you in order to make you well. You are getting some pain in order to get a real gain. If you understand that you're doing it for ultimate benefit, the temporary disturbance of your peace is not going to affect you. The ultimate motive is more important. Though on the surface you might seem to be getting more disturbed for a short time, within yourself you feel happy about it. There's nothing wrong with getting disturbed in such a way for a good cause.
Well, welcome the disturbance.
I welcome it.
Yeah, well, I feel like you just experienced a little bit of, I don't know if you would call it disturbance, but just some, I don't know, what would you call it?
Well,
agitation.
What were you going to say?
Well, I don't know if it was agitation or it was kind of disturbance. I think you had kind of a path you knew that you were moving forward on, and it was difficult for others.
Right.
Which caused it to be difficult for you.
Exactly. More because I wasn't expecting that kind of a response, because it was almost 2 months of a process to go through all of that, and clearly it's still happening.
We're talking about closing the store.
Right. And I've just seen an incredible amount of growth in myself since that, and that's only three months ago.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what can happen in that period of time, and I feel really good about it. I feel really strong about it, and confident and calm. I think this is the most calm I've been in a long time. So with no anticipation, I think a lot of us struggle with uncertainty and not knowing what's coming next, and I felt that people were projecting that onto me about their own fears of uncertainty. And somehow I was able to not take that on myself, knowing that this is what I had to do or wanted to do.
Yeah, like that was stronger in you. That was kind of almost your shield to protect you from some of these other people's journeys around it, and I can see why. It was an amazing store that offered something that's not really offered here in this area. And here I am, I'm out in San Francisco, and it feels like a San Francisco kind of a place
Yeah.
that I love and cherish out in my area. So I can understand how people would feel that way. It's just a natural response to something going away that you love and care for, and you don't fully understand why would it change.
Right.
But you're the one that knew that you needed to follow this calling or this impulse in you to make a change in your personal life. And sometimes when we do that, I have a good friend of mine that I went to college with that used to say, sometimes when we make changes within ourselves, we have to make changes also around us, and sometimes the people around us change.
Right.
And that was hard to hear at one point in my
Yeah.
life. I'm like, no, I want to hang on to everything. You want to keep everything, but sometimes that's things fall away. It's part of like the seasons of this life, right?
Right. Yeah, I actually saw a video this morning that someone shared of, it was a guy who was getting into a cab, and then the cab almost had a collision with another vehicle on the road, and that driver jumped out of the car and started yelling and screaming. I mean, it was all staged.
Oh.
And then, but the cab driver was very calm. The passenger seemed really concerned about why he was so calm, and he basically was sharing that we're all basically these moving garbage trucks, and that was his analogy. And he was basically pointing out what a lot of us already know, that we're projecting a lot of our own garbage onto other people. Most things are out of our control, other than our own mind and our own response to how other things are happening around us. It was a cute little video, actually, and the guy in the back seat was like, "Yeah, you're right." And then they showed the other driver just losing his mind.
Wow.
In a crazed state.
I'll notice when we're it's that whole thing around attachment, and what the yogis recognize is that that's what we have to work on. We have attachments to not just things, but wanting life and the world to go a certain way. And when they don't go our way, we kind of lose our stuff, because it's hard to really feel that there's a greater flow than our own personal flow. I may want the story to unfold a certain way because I feel safer that way. I feel more comfortable. But truly, nature doesn't care about that. Nature is not interested in us staying comfortable. I had a talk with Swami Ramananda, who said, nature really actually wants to disturb us. Our life experience is almost meant to disturb us, to help awaken us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's through those disturbances, that we typically think about what really is important to us. And I think that's probably happening to a lot of people right now because of our world events. Major disturbances going on that are shaking a lot of us to the core. And if we're not fit, I feel like we'll run towards freaking out and dumping our garbage all over the place. And that's why I'm motivated to do something, that helps keep me like, okay, what's really important here? What's the benefit here? How can I turn this into something useful rather than to be like, right?
Right. Because what does that achieve?
More people going,
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't achieve anything.
No.
Yeah, you mentioned yesterday the movie that you saw.
Arrival.
Arrival.
Yes.
That was a perfect
Still
analogy.
love that movie.
Yeah. I need to see that.
Yeah.
That movie.
It's the one where these, aliens land, or they come down to all these major cities all over the globe, and nobody knows what they're about to do, and they haven't done anything except sort of they're hovering in all these places, and basically the world goes into chaos because they're freaked out about what could happen, what they think it means for aliens to come in from outer space, and it actually turns out to be something very different. And I thought that's a powerful message, because that is, we don't know, but it's so uncomfortable to be with the unknown that we can get disturbed simply from not knowing something
Right.
from the unknown, let alone it be something that truly is in front of us that disturbs us, right?
Right. Yeah, we are good at rehearsing chaos.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Good at rehearsing
Yeah,
chaos.
I picked that up from somebody else back in the day in an early job. She was really, the woman I worked with was very mindful of that when
Mhm.
working with the community. people getting really worked up about things that they didn't really know much about.
Yeah.
Rehearsing chaos.
How can we rehearse peace?
Yeah, I love twisting that around.
I feel like that's part of what the practices offer, something daily that helps us rehearse optimism, helps us rehearse, positiveness, because life is going to throw stuff at us. It is going to throw those cars that are going to, swing in front of us. Or I took a yoga class this morning that was a little bit of a surprise of how much it was like a workout class, exercise class almost. But I was like, all right, I'm just going to go with it. Why? I'm not going to be like, this isn't yoga. Just like, this is great. I'm getting to work out muscles, and, it's kind of, what if it was, I could think of it as something fun rather than I could have been rejecting the whole class and been angry.
Right.
So
and in the end, it was yoga. I mean, it was a yoga practice.
Well, there you go.
Right.
Connecting breath and body. That was the direction we were getting.
Yeah, and I mentioned to you on the way here, I almost went to the yoga class with you, and I decided to stick to my typical morning routine, which is usually quiet at home with the dog and 2 cats over coffee, and just getting my day started very quietly and slowly. And I mean, there's a lot of folks believe that if your day starts that way, that's how the rest of the day will go as well. Of course, a lot of it is out of our control after that, but
at least you're starting with that as
a foundation.
You're practicing peace to start your day versus rehearsing peace. Yeah,
right. That. So I got a different kind of workout this morning than you did.
And we all have whatever it is that helps us work out our stuff or work out stuff in our brain, and that's part of why I'm wanting to share these with whoever can watch and take time to do this. So thank you so much. I hope this has been a useful part of your day. I'm so happy that Dan,
this is awesome,
longtime friend, got to share with me since I'm here in Cincinnati for another couple of days and enjoying now this amazing, beautiful, sunny day. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.